So you can focus on what's wrong, or you can focus on what's possible. You can focus on what's wrong, or you can focus on what's possible. And focus obviously being the key word here. So your brain is wired to focus on problems, fight or flight. However, in today's world, this tendency to dwell on what's wrong can become a major barrier, a major problem in order, as it relates to your progress and to your personal growth. So we're talking about achievement, and if we're talking about accomplishing goals, then this can be a problem for you. So historically, spiritual leaders and philosophers and even psychologists have understood and understand now that our focus creates our reality. Our focus creates our reality. So you've heard things like where your focus goes, energy flows. Where your focus goes, energy flows. The law of attraction and the teachings of manifestation all point to this one truth, and that is that you attract what you focus on. You attract what you focus on. What you repetitively repeat to yourself, what you see, what you think, what you say repetitively, you become that. You attract that to you. You meet that vibratory level, and whatever's on that level of vibration, you will pull to yourself. So this subject's directly related to here at Rethink, because we're talking about the ability to create a new path for ourselves. How? By thinking a new way, by an innovative thought, different from before, heretofore have not thought about how do we use our focus and where do we apply that energy. So again, you can choose to focus on what's wrong, or you can choose to focus on what's possible. So that's what we're talking about today on Rethink. Thank you guys for joining me. And we are going to jump straight into it because I've got a lot of content to cover today. But please, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And don't forget to take a look in our show notes and visit our website. And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we'd love to have you on board. Particularly over on the YouTube side or on the podcast side, it doesn't really matter. Thank you also for sharing our content with your family members, friends, loved ones, and associates. Focusing on problems traps us in a lower frequency of fear, of doubt, and of limitation. But if you focus on possibilities, it can open up a completely new realm to what's available, new opportunities, creative solutions, and yes, growth. So, do you want to focus on what's wrong, or do you want to focus on what's possible? Here's the opportunity here, and here's why this subject matters to you, to us as high achievers. It's vital for anyone looking to improve their life and looking to achieve their goals. Because what happens in life is, no one goes through life without stumbling or making mistakes or having something that looks like an obstacle, that looks like a challenge that could stop you from completing your task. None of us are free of that. All of us have something in our lives that if we focus on it long enough, it could be the reason why we don't achieve our goals. But today, we're going to talk about why it's important to look beyond that, not ignore it, but look beyond it and focus on what's possible, and why that change in thinking, why that shift in ideology and methodology is more effective than just sitting and sulking and focus on what has happened, what he or she did, what he or she said. I got fired, or, my parents died, or my husband or wife left me. You could focus on that stuff, but that is going to lock you into that particular vibratory pattern. But you can also focus on what's possible, not ignoring, but shifting your focus on what's possible in order to bring new light into your situation. So here's the opportunity. Number one, By focusing on the possibilities, it opens up a realm of new solutions. If you are locked into what has happened, you're closed off to solutions, you're closed off to opportunities, you're closed off and blinded to potential solution opportunities for your particular, issue. When you look at what's possible, you can create space for innovation. And here's an example. If you're constantly thinking about how you don't have enough resources to start a business, let's say, you'll miss creative ways to bootstrap it. You'll miss those things. But when you focus on possibilities, you can start seeing small steps that can take you forward in order for you to meet your goal. The second thing is improve mental health. It's so critical. It's so important for us as adults, as achievers, as high performers, entrepreneurs, high level, corporate executives and career minded people in relationships for us to have very good mental health. So focusing on problems creates stress and anxiety, but shifting your mindset to what's possible, it reduces negative emotions and it can foster optimism. I have learned this over the last 10 years that while I am going through a particular thing, because we're all going through something, it is better and more productive to focus on the outcome, the solution, and the possibilities than it is to dwell and sulk on what is currently or what has already happened. That requires you to be conscious of what you're thinking. Because if you believe you're your thoughts and you don't understand that you're the awareness behind the thoughts, you can very well just see yourself as this body and this person having this situation, and it belongs to you because many people refer to themselves as their problem. How I revere and I respect people who go to 12 step and have had this issue. I do disagree with identifying directly with whatever it is that ails you. Maybe at one point you could have been associated with this particular illness. But if you want to break away from it, you must not relate yourself to that particular illness because that's like, I own this. This is who I am. I identify as this. So just one example. The next thing is empowerment. Focusing on what's possible puts you in a position of control, empowering you to take action instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances. Here's an example. Instead of feeling stuck in a dead-end job, you begin to see opportunities for learning a new skill set, for yourself networking, and even transitioning to a new career. Those are completely all possible. You could be in a situation right now where your company is going to lay you off and you're aware of it, where you don't feel like there's any growth, you're aware of it, or where you feel like, you know what, I just don't like what I'm doing. There's a possibility you could find the job that you really like and that is challenging and innovative and that you feel freer and in a growth, pattern as opposed to where you are. That's completely possible. It is completely possible if you believe it is. If you don't think it is, then you'll miss the insights and opportunities to make that change. I wanted to go through some scientific methodology about how focusing and the law of attraction are very similar. And focusing is a part of the law of attraction, as a matter of fact. And what happens from a scientific standpoint when you put your focus on something. And it's important because this is part of the solution. So here are some scientific insights about focusing and how it relates to the law of attraction. So number one, we talked about this, I can't remember the podcast, but it's a little while ago. We talked about reticular activating system, or RAS, R-A-S. The reticular activating system is a network of neurons in your brain that filters information and it determines what's important for you to focus on. This is the reticular activating system. Essentially, what it does is helps us to notice things that align with our dominant thought pattern. Whatever your dominant thought pattern or focus is, it can give you more of that. So here's an example. If you're thinking about buying a car, a new car, a red car, then you're going to start seeing that particular car model everywhere. Why? Because that's what you're focused on. So the relationship to law of attraction, which is bringing that thing to you, it's based on your thoughts, it's based on your focus. It aligns with the idea that what you focus on expands, and that what you put your focus on, your energy flows to. And beyond that, that you have the ability as a creator, as a creative individual, to do these sorts of things. It is scientifically proven. So when you focus on positive outcomes, for example, your brain looks for opportunities that match that focus. When you focus on positive outcomes, no different than, listen, think about it this way. It seems so easy because we have been programmed, and been doing it for so long. But man, we always think, worst case scenarios. And a lot of times those things pop up. Why? Because we're thinking about it and it's our focus. We never think to adjust that and say, oh, what if I was thinking positively all the time? Your positive focus can bring about that same outcome. Why? Because you're focused on it. And it makes it easier for you to attract the things that you want. So that's number one, the reticular activating system. Number two is neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity. This is your brain's ability to recognize itself by forming new neural pathways based on your thoughts, based on your behaviors, and yes, your experiences. Now, when you focus consistently on a specific goal, positive or negative, in this case, we want to say positive. When you focus on a positive thought or a positive affirmation, your brain begins to strengthen these pathways. It makes the desired outcome more likely. When you focus on something, and let's say that something is positive, it strengthens that neural pathway and it makes that outcome more likely. Here's the relationship to law of attraction. It aligns with the law of attraction's idea that focusing on positive thoughts can help you manifest your desires. The brain becomes wired to support your goals, making it easier for you to attract whatever it is that you want in the ways that you've never thought of. Number three is emotional resonance and mirror neurons. Emotional resonance and mirror neurons. The brain's mirror neurons are responsible for mirroring emotions and behaviors which we see on a regular basis. Now, when you focus on positive emotions or positive experiences, you train your brain to attract these same emotions into your life. Now, obviously, this works if it's negative, right? But we want to focus on things that are positive. This is why practices like visualization, which we talk about here on the channel, affirmations, which we talk about here on the channel, these things engage our emotions and it makes a significant impact. How's it related to law of attraction? Well, the law of attraction emphasizes that emotions are key to manifesting our desires. You've heard me talk here many times about Neville Goddard and how his philosophy of living in the end, if it's something that you desire, you go into that desire all the way to the end and you assume that you have it. You assume that you are that person that you desire to be. You assume you have the job that you want. You assume you're driving the car in a relationship. Whatever it is that you desire, no different than the great Carpenter said, whatsoever things you desire when you pray, believe now, right now, that you have them. And what is the best way? What is the most confirmed way of believing something? How do you feel? How does it make you feel? How would you feel if you were driving that new car? How would you feel if you were in the arms of that new loved one? How would you feel if you were walking into your new office for the first time, your new home for the first time? What does that feel like? What does it feel like? Can you muster up those feelings? Why is that important? That is important because these neurons, you are training your brain, your subconscious mind, which is the power that's working behind the scenes, doesn't know that you're just daydreaming. Doesn't know that you're just meditating. It's taking this seriously and it's bringing more of the same to you. Now, visualization and affirmations work because these emotional resonance and these mirror neurons are reflecting to your subconscious the things that you desire. So The law of attraction emphasizes emotions are key to manifesting our desires. Focuses on positive emotions. You can not only align your thoughts with positive outcomes, but also train your brain. Train your brain to expect and to replicate these emotions, thereby attracting similar experiences. So I'm going through these scientific methods because it's important that you know this is not my opinion. This is not necessarily subjective. This has been studied. This is objective. And the reason I want you to know that is because it's important that you understand that this has worked and it will work if you apply it. Number 4, positive psychology and focus. Research in positive psychology shows that when you focus on positive thoughts and emotions, we increase our overall well-being and our happiness. When you focus on positive thoughts and emotions, you increase your overall happiness and well-being. Studies indicate that focusing on gratitude, optimism, and future success improves mental health and it motivates individuals to pursue their goals with greater perseverance and persistence. What's the relationship to law of attraction? Well, the law of attraction teaches that focusing on what you want rather than what you lack attracts more positive outcomes. Focusing on what you want, not on what you lack. Our theme, our title today, you can focus on what is, or, what's wrong, or you can focus on what's possible. So in this case, positive psychology backs this idea, demonstrating that the focus on abundance, the focus on gratitude, focus on possibilities are more likely to achieve these particular outcomes. If that's truly what you want, let's say you're in a bad, I'm using air quotes in case you're not on YouTube, you're in a bad situation. So you feel bad and you look bad, or things are happening bad around you. Bad being defined as things that you don't desire. If you want to change that, there's one way to do it. What is it that you do desire? What do you desire? I want to feel good. And I want good, whatever good in terms of your definition is, I want good things to happen to me. Then what are those good things? Relationship, abundance, new this, new that, travel, physical health, well-being. What is it that you desire? Focus on feeling that way. Focus on those possibilities. And this positive psychology and focus indicates, along with many other scientific, studies, that the longer you focus on the positive aspects of the things that you want, the stronger and the more probable these things were going to happen for you. Lastly, let's talk about cognitive behavior therapy, which is CBT, and thought patterns. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a form of psychotherapy that helps individuals change negative thought patterns. It shows that by identifying and refocusing negative self-limiting thoughts, individuals can shift their behaviors and their outcomes. What is the relationship to law of attraction? Well, CBT's principle of changing negative thoughts into positive ones mirrors the law of attraction belief in focusing on what you want to manifest. Both emphasize that more of the positive focus, less of the negative focus empowers your thoughts, the more that you are likely to see positive changes in your life. The more positive thoughts you have, the more likely you are to see positive changes in your life. And we do have one last one, the placebo effect. The placebo effect. The placebo effect is a well-documented psychological phenomenon where people experience real improvements in their condition simply because they believe that they will. They simply believe that they will. This highlights the power of belief and focus in shaping one's reality. So, the relationship to law of attraction, it asserts that what you believe and focus on becomes your reality. Just like Buddha said, what you continually think you become. The placebo effect scientifically demonstrates how focusing on an expected outcome can bring about real change, aligning with the idea that your thoughts influence your experiences. So in summary, I bring these scientific studies to you on focus and on belief, because it's important that you understand that your belief and these neural processes support the principles of law of attraction. Law of attraction is important because what we believe, what we assume to be and will happen, does happen, mainly because of our belief system and our focus. Our focus in terms of where we put our energy. And our energy and our focus on a regular basis is what's going to pull to us that particular thing. So again, back to the top. Do you want to focus on what is wrong? Or do you want to focus on what's possible? Here's the solution. The best solution to move from focusing on problems to possibilities is developing a mindset of growth and of possibility. No matter what's taking place in our lives, we must develop a mindset of growth and possibility. What does that mean? Well, growth meaning whatever is taking place, I have the fundamental idea that this is for my better good. This challenge, heretofore we thought of as a problem, this challenge is for my promotion into an area of life that I desire. I understand that my desire is on the other side of this challenge. Just to cross this barrier is the thing that I desire. How do I get there? By becoming the type of person that can overcome this type of challenge. I have a growth mindset. In terms of possibilities, I just believe that the things that I want are possible. So whatever's happening in my life, this works together for my good. Whatever it is, however it comes, whatever it looks like, I have a fundamental belief that all things work together for my good, and this is possible. What I want is very much possible. So the solution is actionable. Solution is effective and life-changing because it puts you in control of your mental focus. You, not the external world. So many of us, including myself for years, have been subject to reactivity. External stimuli, an event happens, and then we are regulated to responding. So that means emotionally, physically, we respond trying to make again normal our environment based on what happened. But this puts you in control of your mental focus, and it opens the door to new experiences, possibilities, and yes, outcomes. All right, so here's the call to action. Shifting your focus from problem to possibility, you're going to unlock more creative, solution-oriented mindset, leading to a greater success in your life in all areas of your life. The top benefit of learning to focus on possibilities versus, what's currently wrong is that you'll experience a major shift in your own mindset, opening you to new possibilities, new opportunities, creativity, and yes, growth. This challenge is perspective. This change in perspective, rather, allows you to manifest your goals more easily. You're changing your perspective. In other words, you're rethinking your life. This thing happened. It's a challenge. It looks like a problem. You see it as an opportunity. So you're changing the way that you think. This thing happens and you see it as an opportunity to obtain the thing you want. You know that your birthplace for your desire is right across from this opportunity. So you look forward to it, knowing that you're going to learn something, you're going to upgrade yourself in order to obtain it, and it's all possible. Daily practices. How can we reinforce these thoughts? How can we and what can we do on a daily basis to become this type of person? Number one is, again, morning possibility journals. Morning possibility journal. Every morning, write down one problem you're facing and 3 potential solutions or opportunities related to it. Whatever your number one issue is. Let's say your number one issue is physical health. You have a something in your body that is not right, and you may be in chronic pain, or you may be having an issue for years. What are 3 potential solutions or opportunities related to that? Now, it's going to require some meditation and some mindfulness. Don't just write anything down willy-nilly. Ask this to yourself. Ask yourself, what are 3 possible solutions or opportunities related to what I'm dealing with right now? And write it down in your journal. Number 2 is affirmations. Repeat affirmations that emphasize possibilities. Positive possibilities, such as I'm open to new opportunities, and I'm open to possibilities every day. One of the things that I say every day is that I welcome and I'm open to all the love, all the joy, all the possibilities that the universe has for me today. I'm open to them, and I gladly receive them. All of the wonderful new opportunities, I expect them. That's the law of assumption. I'm looking forward to them. I'm expecting to see them. Number 3, refrain is very important. Refrain from negative thoughts. It's impossible not to think negative thoughts. We're all human, and these thoughts don't belong to us. They're just going to come and go. But when you identify yourself going negative, just stop and turn around. Stop and turn around. Don't go deeper. Just identify the fact that you were going negative or complaining or talking about someone, whatever it is, but stop that behavior and get back into the positive, into the possibilities. Each time you notice or catch yourself focusing on a problem, immediately ask, what's possible here? What's possible here? And look at least one potential outcome or solution. One potential outcome or solution. Number 4, gratitude. Gratitude is always in the recipe, right? Gratitude for possibilities. Each day, by writing down one new possibility, you notice that day, it reinforces the habit of looking for opportunities. You're grateful. You're thankful. You have another day to look for opportunities, to be grateful, to, get into the area of possibilities. I'm thankful that I have another day to do that. And then lastly, meditation on abundance. Practice on a daily meditation, where you visualize all the possibilities that are available for you. Practice a daily meditation where you visualize all the possibilities which are available for you, letting you go of all limitations and focusing on abundance only and growth. So each day, focus on best case scenarios. What are the best case scenarios for this new job that I'd like to have? Go beyond the salary that you have or that you even think you deserve. Go beyond that. What's the best case scenario in terms of my health? What's the best case scenario in terms of my relationship? What's the best case scenario in terms of my new business? What is the best case scenario? Focus on abundance. So, in this episode, we talked about what's wrong versus what's possible. Which will you focus on? What's currently taking place in your life that you consider that's wrong, or what's possible? We talked about the reason scientifically why it's important for you to focus on what's possible. And I want you to go back through the podcast and listen to especially that area again, because we talked about reticular activating system. We talked about neuroplasticity. We talked about emotional resonance and mirror neurons. We talked about positive psychology and focus. We talked about cognitive behavioral therapy. And then we talked about a placebo effect. All of these are scientific proven ways that your focus, your belief will generate to you the things that you think about on a consistent basis. So it's important for you to understand that you are in control. You can't say you don't know now. You're in control. Your thoughts matter. What you think on a regular basis matters. The question is, what are you thinking? When you catch yourself going negative, stop and simply ask, what are the possibilities? Change your thinking around. Think of the things that you want, not of the things that you don't want. Thinking of things that you desire, not of the things that you don't desire. This is a lifestyle change. This is lifestyle change. So it's not going to just happen tomorrow. You're going to have to practice this. This is going to become your daily practice. But the benefits are tremendous when it does kick in. Benefits are tremendous. Listen, I hope you guys have, learned something today. It's always our goal to share and to enlighten. Because as I'm going through this and teaching it, I'm always learning myself. I'm very happy to have all of our new folks aboard. I want to say a big shout out to anyone you guys listen all the way through. I want to say a big shout out to the folks who are reaching out to us via comments, liking our content, and especially those who are shooting me text messages. Some of you are not leaving your names, but thank you so much if you shot us a text message saying how much you love the show. That's so appreciative. It really gives us a lot of positive momentum. Thank thank you so much for doing that. And if you haven't done it, go ahead and do it. We really love doing this for you. It is our work, our passion work. So please like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. And we'll be back very soon with another great podcast. Don't forget, listen to the show over again because I believe you're going to hear more the second time. Thanks.